Morning. Good morning. I should have got my jacket out of the car. Had to swim on in here, but I'm here. Oh, we haven't started yet. Good morning. Good morning. We had to start late this morning because I had to swim on in here. I swam on in, through about 12 feet of water, but I made it. I'm here. With half an eyebrow. I'm here. I should have got my jacket out of the car. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to give everybody like 1 minute. I hope everybody saw the post about 11:30 instead of 11 today because the weather was a little bit challenging. But of course, everybody can catch it on the replay. The replay. The replay. Mm, 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 mm. Good times. Boom, boom. Oh, I probably shouldn't do a concert. Hey. Hey, so I'm going to talk about this too, so that Mr. Tovar doesn't see this and fuss at me for not saying it. So we are having on Saturday a virtual class called MLM Masterclass. And I took away the MLM, which normally stands for multi-level marketing, and changed it to Master Learning Manifestation. So if you own a business where you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, meaning it's like Paparazzi or Scentsy or Mary Kay or any other MLM, even if it's any other company that you're a part of, you definitely want to be in that class on Saturday. We're going to talk about master learning manifestation when it comes to sales, business strategy. I'm so excited to be able to do a class like this because this is so right up my alley. Also, other people that could benefit from it is if you have a small business or you have a business that you're interested in starting or you thought about going into a network marketing business, but you haven't really seen anybody that's been super successful in it. You always hear about the other people that are super successful in their MLM class, but you haven't seen anybody that is in the MLM that's super successful that you are. So you can definitely come to that class on the 1st and pick up all the tips and information. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited about teaching it. I have 2 special guests that I'm going to surprise you with on Saturday, just so you can get a multiple, like a plethora of information. A whole arsenal full. You need a full suitcase full of information of what to do when it comes to being able to master learning manifestation in business. So I'm super excited. I'm so excited about multiple things. I think I just live like this. I made a post last night that had me just like literally laughing and till I cried. A friend of mine, she posted on her page that the motivational speaker says, release the lion in you. And then she has like this little crazy looking lion talking about, this is what my lion looked like. Like, it was hilarious. Anyway, I guess you had to be there. Just go to my page and see it. It's very funny. It had me laughing. Anyway, but today we are talking about, let me not forget. So the link, I think we're putting the link in there. We're putting the link in there. Janie's over there today. Janie, come say hi. You have to come say hi. She's like all like, what? I didn't expect to be on camera.
It's my debut.
Yeah, she's like camera ready all the time. All the time. But she's the one that's moderating today, so she'll be responding to all your comments. Michael is in meetings or something. That guy stays busy. But and Molly's in the building. Come over, Molly. And Chloe's like, don't you bring me on that camera, Chloe. Molly's in the building. Say, hey, Molly. What's up? Some of you guys from the weekend might remember Molly. She was there with us at the Sticker Shock sticker shock. Yeah, super fun. Fun. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into what we're talking about. Miss Katana says she saw it and it cracked her up. Yes, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. But let's get into what we're talking about with the Jabez, the prayer of Jabez, and Operation Take Our Territory. Thank you guys for allowing us to start 30 minutes late today. If you are having to catch this on the replay, just make sure you hit hashtag replay. I apologize. We had to start late because literally the weather and the traffic was insane. And so I just wanted to slow down and take my time and make sure that I got here safely versus rushing, trying to hit it right at 11. But we will be on time for the rest of the week. We only have one more day this week. Tomorrow we'll be on time for 11 o'clock tomorrow. The following Monday we'll be on time. God said the same, everything normal. So I'm excited. But diving into, oh, that you would bless me indeed, enlarge my territory, allow your hand to be with me at all times, that I might not cause or experience any pain. I like the version that says cause or experience, because there's two levels of this. And the notes that I have today, I literally look at the notes and I don't even have them near me when I'm getting ready to teach. And mainly I do that. I'm just a little bit weird, but I do that. I'm keep Austin weird is what I always say. Keep Austin weird. I'm a little bit weird, but I do that intentionally, mainly just because oftentimes I'll look at notes but the Holy Spirit will start telling me other things that we need to talk about. And so I really want to allow this to be in the control of the universe, that God is guiding and directing and giving you exactly what you need. That every time you take out the time, every time you invest the time to come to this live, to watch the replay of the live, that you are gaining the information that you're needing, that you're gaining the encouragement that you're needing, that you're coming here and you're gaining the energy that you're needing to be able to take it and throughout the entire week just run and make it do what it do as you're doing everyday life. So there's something that's so important. And we're on day 6. Yesterday, I started out talking about we were on day 6. We were so on day 7. But today, we're on day 6. And 6 represents the number of creation. And in thinking about Jabez and thinking about how that prayer of Jabez applies to me, how that prayer of Jabez applies to you in your everyday life, we are literally creators. We are beings that have the ability to create. And we have to understand how we create. We create with our thoughts. We create with our heart song. I love that. With our heart song, we create. We create with our thoughts. We create with our words. We create with our hands. Every day we create. Every day we are asking. Every day we are asking. So when Jabez said the prayer, oh, that you would bless me indeed, he was asking, he was inquiring from God for a blessing for his life, right? Even though he was born in pain, even though the past was hardcore, he was asking and imploring of God. He was literally creating with God. So as we ask, it is given, right? As we ask, then it is created. It's like a circle. As we ask for God. We ask through our thoughts, action, through the currency of the universe, through our feelings. We ask of these things, and then it's created, right? Because we are creators. We're designed in the image of God. So even in the process of asking, and even in the process of creating, there's still this huge factor of atmosphere that comes into play. And so I wanted to break that down again and kind of slow down and just talk about atmosphere, because really we have to think about and constantly be aware of that we need to keep it in the forefront of our mind and stay aware and stay in a state of awareness of our atmosphere. Do we have the atmosphere of creation? Do we have an atmosphere where we can create and grow and go to higher levels and manifest instantly and receive in, is that the atmosphere that we're in? If it's not the atmosphere that we're in, you either need to change the atmosphere or you need to change your perception, because your perception becomes your reality. So you either need to change your atmosphere or you need to change your perception, right? You need to change how you're looking at it. I was reading this book called, I forgot I can't think of the exact title, but it's How to Get Along with Difficult People. And in this book, I found the book at Barnes and Nobles. It was $7.99, one of the best purchases. I love when I can get something on sale and it's worth a lot, you know. But I found this book, and she was saying how she could imagine when Peter Pan, if she was Peter Pan and Wendy, and they were flying up high, looking down low. And if she was Peter Pan and you know, she was flying up high like that and looking down low, that she would see that the Never Never Land is really not that far, because she's looking from up high. She's starting up high and she's looking down low, and she's starting to see the territory lines that in her mind were a lot further away than they really were. And so what happened was, what she said, and she gave that example to be able to describe that we have the ability to perceive incorrectly if we don't make sure that our perception is lining up with the truth and the things that we're manifesting. So if we're not careful, we'll feel like the things that I'm manifesting is so far away from me, that me having my territory is so far away from me, that me being able to live the best life that I'm designed to live, that I live instant manifestation every single day, that it's so far away from me if I'm not careful about my perception. Because the truth is my time is in God's hands. And literally, all he has to do is give me the thought. And in giving me the thought, then the moment that I stay in the mode of receiving, I can receive in the very thing that I thought about, and it manifests. So if I'm not careful, I have to make sure I am checking my perception. And I am checking not only my perception, but I'm checking my perception of my atmosphere. So let's say, for example, you're not in an atmosphere where you feel like you can grow. That every time that even if your home life is not an atmosphere where you feel like you can grow, that your work life is not an atmosphere where you feel like you can grow, that your children just will not let you live your best life. That every time you clean up, they mess up. That it's contention and it's hardcore, you know, cut as thick as a knife in your house. I've been there. Yesterday, I'm just playing, but I mean, it's the tension is there, and it's so thick, and there's so many things happening in your atmosphere. So there's one or two ways you can look at it. You can look at it like, this atmosphere is so rough. I can't grow here. I can't find peace here. I can't get grounded here. I'm so frustrated. You can focus on that. You have that option. Or you can choose the next best thought, and you can begin to focus on it like this. Yeah, this atmosphere is not the way I want it, but beautiful are the feet of the peacemakers. I have the ability to bring peace to this. This is showing me that what I don't want. So let me focus on what I want. What I want is I want to be able to see peace when I walk in the door. What I want is I want the house to be clean. So I'm going to meditate and see it as it being clean. That the kids are going to get it together today. That the 18-year-old is going to decide, to act right today. I'm just talking about myself. So you can change the way you think about things. And see, what was so funny is I did this on the way home from San Antonio yesterday. And I would just, immediately I first thought, okay, I bet the house is a wreck. He's probably got stuff everywhere. This is what I'm thinking. He's probably been there cutting up, acting up. And instead, I said, but I'm not going to focus on that. Instead, I'm going to focus on, universe, I need the house to be clean. Universe, I need it to be that I walk into a peaceful atmosphere. I need to come home and be greeted by peace. And that's exactly what I was greeted by. I don't know what got into the 18-year-old, but he cleaned up the whole house. He probably was trying to hide something, but hey, I'll take it. He cleaned up the whole house. Like literally, I walked in the door, the house was clean. And little Daisy had had a bath, and she was looking so sweet, and she had her nails trimmed. She had a little petty Manny for doggies, whatever that is. So it was just walking into the atmosphere, and I literally began to change my perception before I even walked in there. Was everything perfect in there? No, there were still things on the counter in the kitchen, but the majority of the house was clean because I could have very easily perceived it differently. I could have very easily came in and perceived it as the house is a mess. The kitchen still has stuff all over the counter. Or I could have perceived it I could have easily had a perception that gave me a different reality. But because before I even got there, I began to change my thought process. And I began to think about it differently. And that changes my atmosphere, because atmosphere is not something that you can see. It is not tangible. It is just like God. The only way you can see it is through you. And that's the same with God. The only way you can see God is through his creation. And the only way you can see atmosphere is through you. It's through his creation. So with that being the case, and you want atmosphere to be conducive to you being able to manifest instantly, get your perception in order. And begin to meditate and begin to think ahead of time. Get ahead of it is what Abraham Hicks keeps saying. Get ahead of it. Don't let it catch you. You stay ahead of it. You get ahead of it. Get ahead of your thought process. Get ahead of the way that you're perceiving and thinking about things. Get ahead of it. Start thinking about it ahead of time with a positive light. Change your thought process. Because your perception is and will become your reality. And just like in that book, when she was talking about difficult people, she was using that example as in relationships, as it being these boundary lines are not as far as we try to make them. The boundary lines are not as separated as we would try to say that they are. That they're actually a lot closer than we realize. And that goes to show the same thing with you, the same thing with your territory, the same thing with the things that you are believing God for right now. I get that it feels like it's far away. Kirsten, you don't understand. Nothing is lined up. So this is the thing. If nothing is lined up for you to receive your territory, you need to make the preparation and get ready for it. Yes, I'm skipping to day 4, which talks about preparation, and we're going to talk about it more in detail on preparation day. But right now, if you're not ready for what you're believing for, if you're not ready for your territory, get ready for it. Just like a baby, just like a brand new baby. Baby Tristan made his way into the world. Nobody knows who he is, but anyway, he made his way into the world. I saw his pictures yesterday. He's a chunky little thing too. But a friend of mine had a baby yesterday. But we've been preparing, not me really, but more her. But she's been preparing for the baby. She's got the bassinet ready. She's got the area set up. She packed her bag. She's thinking about things that she's going to need to nurse and to make sure that the baby is ready. Are you ready for your territory? You have to get ready for it. Create the system today. Align yourself with the system today to be ready to walk into your territory. And in doing that, you are asking, oh, that you would bless me indeed. enlarge my territory. Make my territory bigger. But before you make it bigger, bless me. Blessing. Shalom. Shalom means nothing missing, nothing broken. That's what shalom means. So he says, oh, shalom me. Allow me to have nothing missing. Allow me to have nothing broken. So that means allow me to get into a place and a pocket where I'm on a level playing field. It's amazing to be there. Everything in my life is not perfect, but I can honestly say today, in the very hour that I am speaking to you, I know I am grounded emotionally on a level playing field. And even when I have these waves of thoughts that come that are not conducive to where I'm going, one of the things I've started speaking out loud to myself is, man, I am so grateful that I am emotionally stable to decide that I'm going to feel good, to decide that I am going to trust the process. And I make general statements. Everything's always working for me. And I don't block it working for me. I allow it to work for me. I allow everything to always work for me. I allow the bad news to work for me. I allow the good news to work for me. I allow the rain to work for me. I allow the 120-degree weather to work for me. I allow everything to work for me because it is. It is working for me. It is working in my favor. It is working out for my good. It's working out for me. And I allow it to. I don't block it by feeling bad. I don't block it by choosing to focus on the thoughts and the facts that make me feel bad. I encourage it. I argue for my possibilities. I fight for my capability to win. I fight for that. I put on my boxing gloves. I fight to keep my peace. That if something is happening, if I have a thought that comes up that doesn't make me feel good, that doesn't make me feel at peace, that I immediately cast that thought, that I immediately cast that care upon God, because I know that He cares for me. I know that He cares for me. I know that His grace is sufficient for me. So I take that thought and I cast it off. And in casting it off, I pick up a new thought. And the new thought is, everything's always working for me, even that. Everything's always working for me. It's always working for me. It's always working for you. Everything is always working for you. You're just a thriver. Everybody doesn't have to understand it. It doesn't have to look like it right now. Who cares what the physical is seeing? It's what is unseen that's eternal. It's the things that's working inside of you that's going to last. It's the person that you're becoming while the outside is not perfect that matters. It's the part of you that's being formed on the potter's wheel while all of the distractions and things are coming and being thrown at you. Because the Bible says when the enemy comes in like a flood, he will raise up a standard against him. So he comes in like a flood. He throws all of these things. He tries to overwhelm you. But then God promises, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. I'll never allow more to be on you than what you can handle. So I say this all the time. I'm going to keep saying it until everybody going to be repeating it by the time I get through saying it so much. If it's too heavy for you, it's not meant for you to carry. So everything that's too heavy for you, you need to give it to the universe. Give it to the universe. Pass it off. If it's too heavy for you, pass it off. I did this last week. I was carrying stuff that was way too heavy, thinking I'm being irresponsible by casting it off. But instead, you need to understand you're being irresponsible if you keep carrying something that's too heavy for you. Because you will strain a muscle. And your faith is a muscle. Your peace is a muscle. The joy of the Lord is your strength. It's a muscle. It's the thing that holds you together. It's the thing that holds everything up. So if you're carrying stuff that's straining that muscle, you're being irresponsible. The responsible thing to do is to cast it off. The responsible thing to do is to not think about it. The responsible thing to do is to think on the things that are good, that have a good report, the positive things. Those are the things that you should focus on, because atmosphere must be conducive to you being able to manifest instantly. Atmosphere. Because this is what you got to understand. We don't know the full story of Jabez outside of, we know he was born in pain, and we know his story rings out. Bruce Wilkinson wrote that book, and it just went to the next level for me. Oh, that you would bless me indeed. The Prayer of Jabez is Bruce Wilkinson's book. It's real little. But even what we do know is that God granted his request. That's what we do know. God said yes, and he granted it. So this is what you got to know. He's not picky to the point that he won't do it, that he'll do it for me and not do it for you. He'll do it for all of us. It's enough in the atmosphere. It's enough in the universe for everybody to win. You can win. I can win. We can win together. J Rock got a clue. All I do is win, no matter what. He got a clue. And we should take that clue, right? And understand that we are designed to win. We are designed. We are created to what God cannot fail. So things that are not working in your life, congratulations, because now you know what you don't want. So now you know what you don't want, cast what you don't want onto the universe, and you focus on what you do want. You focus on, oh, bless me indeed. Enlarge my territory. You focus on getting prepared for what you want, on making plans, on putting it together, on seeking God for wisdom for the pieces that are missing. And the moment that is too heavy, the moment that you don't feel good, cast it off to the universe. But while you're feeling good, while you're in the creative mode, while you're ready to run and move forward with it, then go create. Write it down, draw the picture, put it together, create the logo, write the business plan, get it all together. Open up the bank account. Get ready for it. Get ready for it, because what you don't want to do, and what you got to understand, that God is not going, because this is what he said. He said, I'll never give you more than you can handle. I'll never give you more than you're capable of holding. So if something comes to you that's too heavy for you, it's not for you to hold. But understand, that's a twofold statement. Because God will allow your territory to come to you. And if you're not able to hold it, it'll go away. I heard, I was listening to I can't remember who talked the other day, and they said, I'm always listening to teachings. That's why I repeat teachings so much, because I listen to teachings more than I listen to music, and I love music. But he said, whoever was talking was saying, Miles Monroe, he said, the saddest thing that can happen is for you to get a position that you don't have the character to hold. God has created the position. He's created the platform. He's given you the territory. He has the people attached to you. He has the billions of dollars lined up to fund it. He has everything put in place. He has the team already built. The building is already found. The foundation of the building is laid. The building is completed. The certificate of occupancy has been signed. Everything is done and ready. The deal is closed. The ink is dry on the contract. Everything has already been done. When he said, it is finished. It's already been done. But do you have the character to hold it? Are you emotionally stable enough? Because his grace is sufficient. Are you emotionally stable enough to decide that the joy of the Lord is my strength, and I'm not going to get into an argumentative state even with myself? That I'm going to that every time I begin to argue for my limitations, that I'm going to stop and I'm going to argue for my capabilities. That every time I get ready to try to doubt myself, that every time I get ready to try to beat me up, that I'm going to give myself grace and show appreciation for the creator that made me, that said that I am wondrously and perfect the way he created me. That instead I'm going to show appreciation for me. That I'm going to love every stretch mark, right? Yeah, I'm raw. That I'm just going to show appreciation for me. I'm going to show appreciation for the person that he created me to be. That I'm going to show appreciation for that instead of tearing myself down. Because this is and notice I'm not spending a whole lot of time talking about other people tearing you down, because people are always going to have an opinion about you that don't matter. Everybody is not my number one cheerleader, and I'm cool with it. Jesus had haters too. It's all good. Right? I'm cool with it, because it's not about what anybody else thinks about you. Even your parents, even your family members. It's not about what they think. It's about what you think. What do you think about you? What are you saying about you? What are you telling you? So today, just bringing it in and understanding, make sure that you're creating an atmosphere that is conducive to manifestation. Take the time, put a budget of $100, go to at home and make sure you have a meditation space in your home that gives you zen, that allows you to feel aligned. That when you sit in that space, that you look at that favorite plant, that you have that pillow that feels so amazing, that it's your space. It is your space for you to go, for you to meditate, for you to get aligned, that you are delegating that particular space to where you go to get aligned with you. Make that happen. That's one step of you getting prepared, because every time you take an action closer to manifestation, every time faith without works is dead. What is the works? What is the works that's necessary? The works that's necessary every time you do an act of works, because it's works in plural. So every time you do an act of works, believing, every time you do an act of works, speaking by faith, every time you do an act of work, thinking by faith, every time you do an act of works, you are asking. You're asking. You're asking, oh, that you would bless me indeed. And you're asking, as you're making sure you stay aligned with you. Y'all, why do y'all think we hold our hands like this in prayer? Has anybody ever asked that question or ever thought about it? Why these are praying hands? These are praying hands because I have 5 fingers. 5 represents grace. When I put them together, I have 10 fingers that are together representing new birth. And I pray, and I put my hands here in prayer. This sign of prayer is alignment with self. Because this is my center. This is my center, my core chakra. And I'm aligned with self when I pray. I'm aligning because God lives on the inside of us. I know you might have read all kind of stuff that has you questioning, every type of belief, but understand he does nothing without intentionality. And everything we do it because we're acting like our Father. We were created in his image. We were created just like him. So when we put our hands together and we bring it to the center of us, that we're getting aligned because the Holy Spirit lives on the inside of us. And when I pray, I am praying. When I meditate, because Joshua said, I meditate on thy word day and night. When I meditate, when I pray, I am getting aligned. I am aligning me and me, because me and me got to stop boxing. Because that one of the me's, we be boxing with the other me. Me and me be going at it. But we got to get aligned. We have to come together. Because where two are gathered in his name, he's in the midst. So if I want God to bless me, to be involved with every decision, with every company, with every thought process, with every project, with everything, I got to get aligned with me. I got to get aligned with me. And so we have to focus on atmosphere. Think about atmosphere. Meditate on how you can change your atmosphere. And also, so let's say, for example, if it's your work atmosphere, that your work atmosphere that you're going to every day is not the atmosphere conducive to your manifestation, change your perception. Are you looking at it as half full, or are you looking at it as half empty? Only focus on the things that you like about it. Because this is what you got to understand. If everything that I liked was this candle, right? And this or everything that I need to get to, or I need to get higher, and this candle represents the level that I'm on, right? So this candle represents the level that I'm on. This is the level where I am right now, but I need to get up here. Every time that I doubt, every time that I operate in fear, every time that I'm angry, every time that I'm allowing frustration to change my atmosphere, every time that I refuse to look at the glass as half full, instead I'm looking at it as half empty. I'm always thinking lack. I'm always negative. I'm always tearing myself up, because anytime you negative with other people, it's because you don't like you. Let's be clear. So I'm always tearing myself up, tearing other people up. Don't like to compliment nobody. Just walking around nasty. I mean, attitude just stank, right? Every time I do that, this is going lower and lower and lower. I can't get to where I'm trying to get to. You notice the candle just disappeared. It's like it's lower and lower and lower. But every time I humble myself under the mighty hand of God, every time I allow the joy of the Lord that is my strength, every time I choose to look at the glass as half full, that even though this atmosphere at work is not what I want it to be, mine is lovely, but even though this atmosphere at work is not where I want it to be, I love that plant in the corner. And I love the way that guy wears that red tie with the polka dots on it. And I love that they have coffee for us every morning. And I love that it just takes you higher and higher and higher, versus it diminishing you and breaking you down, because you can't change the way God created you. And he created you in a positive energy, in a plus energy. He actually created you in a multiplication energy. Because you try to say plus, but God doesn't add to you. He multiplies in you, because he's already placed himself inside of you. He's already placed his seed of who you are at the core of who you are, because you are a spirit. You just happen to have a body. So he's already placed himself inside of you, and you can't change that he's in you. You can try to deny it. You can try to live in doubt. You can try to act like it's not there, but you can't change the way you were created. Just like I can't change the color of my skin and my gender, I cannot change the way that God created me. And he created me, and then what he does is, after he creates me, he then multiplies. God is a God of multiplication. He's not a God of addition. He's not going to add to. He's going to multiply. That's why when you look at the parable of the seed that was placed in the ground, it went from 30 to 60 to 100. Like how? The reason why it went 30 to 60, multiplication, double portion. Then it goes from 60 to 100. Why did it go 60 to 100? Because the next, to add the 30 would mean 90, but I am the tithe. I'm the 10%. So that's why it goes to the 100, because I have to bring the tithe into the storehouse, that there might be meat in my house, and I am the tithe. I've got to show up with the 10%. And so it's crucial that I focus and I operate and I get aligned with the way that I was created, because I was created to be positive. I was created to operate in a positive aspect, in a positive atmosphere. So focus on the things that you love. Focus on the things that you like. Focus on the things that are of a good report, and choose to ignore the things that are not. Choose to not pay attention, because your focus is so powerful. Your focus is so powerful. It's powerful. It's power. Do I have time to talk about focus, or what? Is it over?
It's 12.
Okay. So I have like what, 15 minutes? Okay, I got 15. Ooh, I got 15 minutes. Okay. But so look at this. I said, say, y'all see it come out? Anyway, go ahead. Little hood. Anyway, okay. So focus. Whenever you give focus to something, we talked about this yesterday. Whenever you give focus to something, it's literally like pouring water on a plant. Whatever you focus on will grow. Just like the gremlins, whenever you put water on them and they duplicate, it's the same thing with your focus. See, your focus is those little gremlins that every time you get water on them, and I'm exposing my age, talking about gremlins. Okay. Anyway, but it's just like a plant. Atmosphere is the soil. Atmosphere is the soil. God's gift to you is the plant. His gift to you is the seed. How do we know this? He said he gives seed to the sower. So his gift to you is the seed. The very fact that you can think about it means that he's already given you the capacity to manifest it. The very fact that it can come to your mind, I mean, you already got the capacity to make that thing happen, to allow that thing to not make it, allow it to happen through you. So he gives seed to the sower. So atmosphere is the soil. God gives you the seed. The seed is a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift that's given without repentance. You place the seed into the soil, into the correct atmosphere, and you water it with focus. The watering is focus. The watering is what you're giving your attention to. So put sticky tabs all over your car, your house, everywhere you need to put them. Everything always works out for me. This is working out for me. I love knowing that the power that creates worlds lives on the inside of me. I love knowing that I am a creator and I have the ability to create my own reality. I love knowing that nothing is impossible for me because I believe, because I'm called. I love knowing that I'm capable. I love knowing that everything that I need is already in me. I love focus on the stuff that's going to increase you, because what happens is it's easy to manifest when you're up here. It's impossible to manifest when you're down. It's easy to manifest when you feel good. When you feel good, you'll think about something and it happens. When you're in a positive light, you'll think about something and it happens. Just that, because you're created just like God. So, oh, that you would bless me indeed, enlarge my territory, allow your hand to be with me at all times, and keep me from harm, that I don't cause or experience any pain. pain is not even a bad thing. I know I'm all in tomorrow, but pain is not even a bad thing. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how pain is not a bad thing. If you did not have pain, you would have your hand on a hot stove and it would burn your hand off and you would never know. Pain is an indicator that something's wrong. Pain is the turning signal that you're about to turn. Pain is the automatic windshield wiper that comes on to start drying off the water so you can see. Pain is telling you, hey, something's going on. Hey, something's not right. You know, pain is like your dog that comes and wakes you up at 6 o'clock in the morning because she needs to go dig in the dirt after she just had a bath. Pain is all of that. Pain is coming to you, telling to you something's not right. Something's not right. Something needs to be changed. It's an indicator. It's an indicator. So you don't say, I'm excited I have pain. No, you say, I get it. I see that pain. Okay, I need to change something. I need to make some different decisions. I need to focus differently. So, man, I am. Do I have comments? I don't even know how to do this.
Yes.
Molly's gonna come help me. Do I need to answer anything?
I'm answering for you.
Oh, okay.
I've been liking some comments.
Yeah, then you just scroll down. You can.
Who? Okay. Anyway, okay. Well, yeah. So, I don't know how to scroll, Molly. I'm like, oh, I started to scroll.
I do 2 fingers.
Oh,
There you go.
there it is.